Hey yo, YouTube. So I'm back, or it's been like almost a month since the last time I uploaded. Um, and I'm going to do more of like these unofficial newsletter drafts that I'm going to do because one thing that I don't necessarily regret this. However, I think that I wish I was able to document it way earlier is like documenting, I guess, like thought process patterns and just like overall any progress because my vision is that I will become successful or at least do my best in whatever I do, um, and that can go from my hobbies to my interests to even the work that I do. Um, and for those who like want to know what has to what you give up or you have to do to get there, like I think that's also and also just for myself, it's like saying like this may be what's happening. So I do want to make this an official like newsletter, and I'll try and make a video once a week because like I really want to document stuff. Like I want to like demonstrate that this is like at least not just for like for me as well, but also like to document my own thoughts. Sorry, I was charging the thing. But for also like everyone else who tunes into the videos that I make to see like okay, what's up with this? What's he doing? Um, and how does he think? So the first thing that I do want to point out, or the first thing that I want to do is explain um, what's sort of like since the last newsletter that I posted out, which was 7 months ago, and then at least for YouTube it was last month. So I'm going to do those two updates first, and then I'll talk a little bit about my intentions and things like that for the upcoming month, and so I can write into a newsletter at the end of the day today. Newsletters don't take that long; it's just like 3 4 minutes. Um, so for the past 7 8 months, I've kind of been like very quiet in terms of online, and then like even in person, I've kind of I've talked the talk a little bit because you do need to like kind of update people on like okay, what are you actually doing? But I've just made sure to just keep my trap shut um, because you don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill of work, which is um, like I don't want to point fingers at people or organizations, but at least in TKS, there is a tendency, and I had that tendency for a little bit to make make our work seem like a mountain when it's just really just a molehill. At least for maybe it's because the fact it could be that teenagers like me don't really like care about nuclear fusion and stuff like that. Most people are just thinking about the MILF on the beach, whatever, something like that. Um, so yeah. Um, so that's one of the things that I've been doing. So that's why I haven't been uploading those things because I told myself like you have to do the things that you think that are going to be valuable for you, and then you can talk. So the things that I've been doing for the past 7 8 months was um, some biofortification projects for Bangladesh, which I kind of stopped because I realized that I didn't really love the project that I was doing, and that's one thing that you're gonna have to learn is um, there like you need an end goal. You need an end goal to remind yourself, okay, where do you want to go? What's your vision, or like what's that end goal? But then you also have to enjoy the process. And for me, I didn't really enjoy the process, or at least I didn't love what I was doing. Like if you don't love the stuff, then you're not gonna do it, no matter like even if it's like $1 million. Like you don't want to go through that process because there's going to be sacrifices they have to do to get there. Okay. And the thing with success is like to get there, there will be a lot of sacrifices and there will also be a lot of failures. So like, I guess the, the more you fail, the better chance you succeed. I mean, that's like something that's been thrown a lot, but it's true. So, I don't think there's anything more simple than that. You do need to do tons and tons of iterations for you to like start seeing progress. It's like with the gym. Like, come on, like with gym, you got to go do your reps, sometimes you're gonna hit failure. Sometimes you're gonna hit a weight that you probably shouldn't be lifting, and if you are, then you're just ego lifting, which is also another way of saying insecurity lifting. So, um, so that's that. Um, so those were some of the things. So, and now for the past month and a half, I've been really grinding hard on this water project for Iztapalapa, and then now I'm realizing that this has potential to go to everywhere across the world. So this is going to be very interesting. Um, the draft article, not the draft article, the proposal for that will post publicly on Medium. It's going to be released in, like, I would say by the end of the day today of when I post this on YouTube. Um, I'll link it down here when it's published so that you can all see, like, okay, what are we kind of up to and what is this? But mainly for the past 7 8 months, I've just been focusing on other aspects of life, not really on the mental strain of life, more on like the physical and the social side of life. So like one thing that I've definitely noticed is that my posture is getting better. So that's because shitty posture, no one likes that. And stretch in the morning, like been implementing that for the past like month now, and like damn, I feel so good. It's good to have a routine. um Although like I don't want to like depend on the routine for me to function. So like maybe with most adults it's like you need coffee to function, you need I don't know, morning podcasts, stuff like that. Like you depend on it, that's a farce. Like not farce, but like I can exploit it, or anyone can exploit it, and you'll like you'll feel like shit, or you will perform like shit. And that won't help you, because like the way I like to think about it is you know like our ancestors, maybe like my great grandfather, whatever, like my or like cavemen, they didn't really have coffee, so and yeah, they were able to survive, I don't know, like saber-toothed tigers, stuff like that. So, or saber-toothed cats, I don't know what it is, but like so like I don't really need it. And like fast if you want, like go fast. Like I've been fasting the whole day right now. I just drank water. So probably not going to eat till like midday. Cause like that's another thing, is like you want to like find a way to save up your time, but also like save your attention. Like time time and attention, they're very close to each other, but I would say that attention is a little bit more valuable than time. Like it will always be. Because like an hour is an hour, 24 hours is 24 hours, but like it's just that plain value. But what makes the value, like the yeah, the quantity stays the same. An hour is an hour. The quality of those 24 hours is determined by what you put your attention to. So like, like if you're on like Twitter binge, or like YouTube binge, or I don't know, like like those things, it's like, okay, well, the quality might be okay. I mean, if that's what you like doing, but and I know this is just my standards, so like I know that I'm not trying to attack here, but like I did do like tons of YouTube binges, and I still kind of do, like an hour, stuff like that, at least an hour per day, and mostly it's just like just to like keep up with with whatever the hell is going on in the world. But honestly, like I'm trying to like get rid of it entirely. Um, Mostly because like my computer doesn't have audio, so I know if I were to get a computer with audio, I could delete YouTube off my phone, and that would be it. That would be the end of the conversation. So it's pretty much just like taking action, finding a place where I can fix this damn thing. Um, so that's an action item for me. Um, and And the other thing that I guess like for everyone to know is like if you're so scared about, like the FOMO stuff, fear of missing out, like even if I were to get rid of YouTube off my phone, the convenience is no longer there. So I mean there's less reason for me to use my phone other than like like messaging and like social platforms. Like I don't have Like the only thing I have is like Slack on this thing, and then messaging and WhatsApp. That's it. Um, and yeah, if you're just scared about all those things, like don't worry, the universe will eventually tell you what is important. Um, it will come knocking at your door. And if you're also worried of like, oh well, how am I supposed to keep track of stuff? Like ask like your friends, your family members, or your acquaintances, like, yo, like what's up? Like what's the hot stuff? And it's like, come on, like you got a bunch of guinea pigs that can do it for you. So it's perfect. So you save your attention a little bit. And plus, you had to spend time with someone else, so it's perfect. So like go do that. Um and yeah, I just graduated, so that's another thing. So yeah, I like to think I'm unemployed now, so until I get into college. So I guess that's what I've been doing, just like working on these projects, see where this goes. And then the last main thing is with languages. I remember in my last newsletter, I was like, I'm gonna learn Portuguese and Greek. Mission accomplished. Um, Obviously, I'm not fluent in them. Like I am hella not fluent. But if you were to throw me, like, and I'll say with a hard yes. Like if you were to throw me in like Brazil, Portugal, or like Greece, Cyprus, like one of those places. And I know there's like a bunch of other Portuguese speaking countries, but like if you were to throw me in one of those, I'd live, or at least find a way to get an airplane ticket to get me the hell out of there. So I think so yeah, I can speak both of them now. Um, I think I'll just make like a separate like video on like me speaking the four languages, Spanish, English, Portuguese, Greek. But yeah, like it's incredibly powerful. Like this goal setting shit, like it works. Like don't get me wrong, like this shit works. Because I like last year I told myself, like I think I even made like that end of the year news like end of the year like video. It's like I said that I was going to like I don't know, like speak like learn three new languages in a year. Like I can kind of like speak, like I can conversationally speak four now. So for me, like just putting that there, like having that, like, like big dick goal, not like some like, micro dick goal, which most people are like, oh yeah, I'm just going to like reduce calories by 200 or something like that, like for fitness. It's like, no, like what if you picture, like like a Greek god body? Like what if you had that? Like I think that like because like small goals and big goals, they're both hard, like they both require effort. So why not just go for the bigger one? Because there at least you'll be able to push through the hard moments. It's like that. But the one requirement for that to work is like you gotta love it. You gotta love that thing. Like you gotta enjoy the hard stuff. Because like the goal's just the vision and you have to get there. But you also gotta enjoy the journey as well. So I know that they say it's not it's not about the destination, it's the journey, stuff like that. Like it's half right. You first need a destination for that to work. Like you do need a final outcome or a vision at least. Because it's like I've said it in other videos, but it's like a GPS. If you don't have a final destination, what are you doing? Like, So if you have a final destination, it's like, okay, then you can pick the route. You can pick the route to drive and go there. So that's that. And other parts in life, like started learning how to drive, so that's perfect. Um, I'm thinking I'll get my license by the end of the year. End of yeah, end of the calendar year. So yeah, I'll be a big boy now. So I finally get like a half-ass citizenship. So yeah, that's perfect for me. So now that's like the 6-7 months update. Um, and some of the habits that I've picking up for the past 6-7 months is finally I'm starting to read like usual, but like there was this tendency for me where I thought like I needed to read, like those self-improvement books. It's like it's okay. Like I'm not saying that I'm against them. It's just like I felt like if I wasn't reading them, I'm not reading. But it's like this stuff, like this is modern Greek for classes. This is the book. This is kind of like my Bible for learning Greek, by the way. So at least like written, and then spoken is another thing. Um, but like with those books, by the way, like for me, like that is helping in some way, like acquiring different skills. So it's like, um, so I think at the end of the day, like this is like in action acquisition of skills. So I realized like, okay, that's all right. That's all right for me to learn. And the Portuguese book are these. So this is so this is for like like this is Lonely Planet, like Greek like Greek survival. So I might give this to like someone if you're going to Greece. Here, I got one of these for you. This is the Portuguese book. I sometimes still read it, to like make sure like if I'm acquiring new words, like I didn't know that there was a word like show, which is like in Spanish it's piso, but I think in English it's floor. I don't know. But show, and then shea, shea, shea bane. So those were like some things, and then like with Greek, it was like interesting because it's like do vro, like I was getting a bit confused on those right there, but those are just some. And then some other things that I've been learning for the acquisition of my projects is like I'm wrapping up and like trying to get my head around the most basic things because I'm going to be doing like a calculus sprint um uh during July. So like I'm gonna learn Calc 1, Calc 2 all over again. Because it wasn't important during the school year. Now it is for me. And but the main book that I'm going to get is like this one. I started learning this also in July. Um, these are I know they're going to be super important at least for the projects that I will be doing. So that's the update for you, for all of you. This is the update for me, for my past self, because the Carlos of right now, the one that's publishing this thing, or the one that's on camera right now, would like to meet the version of Carlos in July, hopefully in the capital city of Athens, Greece, and I'll explain why. And this is also an update for all of you if you want. So for the past like month and a half ish, like I've been like heavily journaling, not online, but like which I should, um, in Notion, but I've been writing like, what is it like? What do I vision? What do I vision in terms of water? Like, is this something that like logically does it make sense, but also emotionally, like like most times, even like with my relationship, with my previous relationships, it was like there was like this emotional thing, but like logically I didn't really think about it that way first. So like I had to ask myself like logically does this make sense first? Because like emotion may fade. There may be some days where I'm like like fuck this, I don't want to. But at the end of the day, I'm like, no, this makes sense. Like logically this makes sense. But like maybe today I'm just like burned out or I'm in the dumps or something like that. And then there would be, okay, as long as I get back to it the next day or whenever I start feeling better, which shouldn't take that long. Unless like it's physically sick, just mentally or spiritually sick. By spiritually, I mean like like people, like friendships, or maybe I need to pray to God. Um, so those are just some things. And I asked myself like, what is this vision of this aerogel things? Because for those who know, I've been kind of like learning and studying about aerogels for 2 years because I do think that it's going to be one of those like it's going to be like those 22nd century materials. So like kind of like copper, steel, like aluminum, rubber, like aerogel is going to be one of those. So I know like at least for me, it's like it's also a mix of greed, but it's also like like kind of like envisioning what I see with this material. It's like it's going to be using a lot of things from the energy to insulation to even like water, because they're very like it's easy to produce them at mass scale now compared to what you may see on the internet. I'm not saying that it's like like very very cheap, but it's gone down a lot. Like we can probably make up to like I don't know, like $22 per kilo. So which was good compared to like when I remember like in 2000 or something, it was like 23,000 dollars per pound. I'm like, hell. So so the vision that I had was I see a world where like we don't have these goddamn companies, like trying to give us bottled water when it's like just get it for fucking free on like this river. Oh wait, but the river's contaminated. Okay, so we got to go buy water. Okay, fair enough. But what if we had something that like what if we had like some like cheap, very cheap biodegradable filter that can filter like a liter of water for like for I remember from the UN and from like X Prize, it was like 2 cents, 2 cents a liter. So like the minimum or like actually the like kind of like the between maximum has to be 2 cents. But like I would say like the max limit has to be 5 cents a liter. And then the minimum can be up to like 1 cent a liter, US cents a liter. Um so that's what I saw. That's what I was envisioning. It's like it has to be this cheap. It has to be biodegradable because we don't want to make more trash. Like, there's enough trash in this world. Um, so, we don't need that. The third thing is like it has to like it has to be easy to maintain. Like you don't want some like because look, I'm not like I love it. I love what MIT puts out and all stuff. It's like you need like it like because I remember it was like some like suitcase. I'm like, yeah, I don't think places like Papua New Guinea and Bangladesh, like I don't think they're gonna be able to have a laptop as a like a suitcase looking filter. It's like they need something that weighs like under 2 kilos. You gotta weigh under 2 kilos, like or maybe even under like half a kilo, like something like that. And it can like fit in your pocket, like an iPhone. Like it has to be that easy to take with you because then it's a lot easier. And it has to be able to be reused for like many times. So like let's assume people use a filter like once a day, for like maybe like 5 to 20 liters, maybe even up to 50 liters, because the minimum for like the UN is 50 liters. So let's go with 50 liters. It's like they better at least like if they use it once a day, it's like okay, 50 on the 50 liters. So then that means they would have to go like 3 4 months using that one thing without like losing like 5% of absorption efficiency of whatever the intention of the removal is. So like Bangladesh, for example, it could be the arsenic in its water. Like, perfect. For Mexico, it's a little bit of lead and iron in Iztapalapa, which is where we're going to attempt our first of these locations for filtration once we're able to build the product pilot test. Um, so those are like just some things, and then for like organic products, it would probably be more like bacteria, oils, pesticides, dyes like hair dyes or like methylene blue, methyl orange, so like those things. Um, so those were just some of the things that I was like thinking. It's like okay, this is like the vision that we see, and now the process to get there is going to release the proposal in like 20 in like before the end of the day, or at least like before 5 6 p.m. So all that's left right now is like we need images, like sketches of how our product's gonna look like, so we can release it. But yeah, like for me, it's so like I find myself so proud of. Like I feel like so accomplished. Like working 2.5 years on this material that I know that it's going to give a lot of impact. Like I have the idea on a post-it here that I wrote like in 2020. So like this thing, it's this one. It says create aerogel that allows fluid and material to pass through the aerogel without damaging the structure. I wrote that in 2020. I think it was like 4 weeks before the TKS Innovate thing started because they had like some explore modules out. So I started writing like random crap there. I think that was in August. I think I'm not so sure, but it was in 2020, like a month before the actual sessions began. So, so yeah, that was the cool part. So I'm just like shit, like 2 years in the making, then you have all these ideas just written down. It's like let's go do it. Um, But the Carlos that I want to meet in July will be the one that goes to Greece and goes to present at Aerogel's Cost Action, uh, 2022. So that is the Carlos that I want to meet in July, and that's kind of like the main, like the big dick goal that I have for July, at least on the work related side um is that. And then, but before that, I will be going 2 weeks to my hometown in Oaxaca and checking out the water there because that may be where we might pilot test before we go to Iztapalapa. Because the water is not necessarily contaminated. It's more or less the river in not Iztapalapa, in Ejutla, which is the hometown. It's contaminated. And that's where a lot of people use to bathe their clothes, to even take a shower there, and even like play around there. Um, maybe I can like show photos later in another video or something that where I have photos of me just like like showering in that river. So so I'm just like yeah like I don't know why I'm just like it just gives me more emotion, or, like more like gives me more emotion than logic at this point, and I kind of don't really like that when an idea has more emotion than logic. Like for me, it has to have like it has to make more logical sense than emotional. But yeah, it's a hookah. So so yeah, so I will be presenting the proposal and the information to the mayor over there. So that's gonna be big. Um and and when I'm over there, obviously like I'm gonna focus also on my spiritual side and reconnect with old friends there, old friends and old family that I haven't seen in quite a while. So fuck you, COVID. um, but yeah, so that's pretty much like what's up with there. So I know I will like so I'm gonna have to push off calculus and the organic chemistry stuff um till July because I'm gonna be heavily focusing on like leveling up my Greek and make sure I get the application because as right now I don't really have that much to like be able to go. So, but if there's one thing that I've learned is put yourself vision yourself as the Carlos that already has the money, who is already going, and then do it. So it's kind of like let's say you meet like you see this hot chick or whatever, and you like want to ask her out. It's like there's two options that happens. It's like you're picturing shit. What do I say to her? Or like like what am I gonna tell her? And like you visioning like oh yeah I'm struggling or something like that. Of course yeah you're gonna struggle, but like why don't you picture yourself as like the guy who just got like I don't know her phone number or like you got a date secured. It's like like you picture yourself. You're like oh yeah. So it's like that might help you. Like that not might. It's like it will, but like it's like there's other components there, but it will definitely help you. And like like just nonchalantly do it. So yeah, it's like and plus like just be like yo like I like you want to go out or something like that. Like I think one thing is like if you like some girl, just take her out. Come on. I mean, what's it called? Like take your shot, fail more, and you might have a higher chance of succeeding. And then you'll find someone that it's worth. It. And you'll probably learn as well. So you can definitely learn how to pick up a little bit better. So um so yeah, that's those are those monthly updates. And whenever I have like new I'll probably do like once a week on like reflections and that for the week. Because I do want to document a lot more stuff. I wouldn't say I would regret if I didn't document more, but it would definitely help me like see what has been going on because like journaling like this journaling stuff like all of this like started back in March from March and yeah this is the first time I'm actually journaling so but it's definitely helped me a lot but yeah since March and all that like just documenting all that stuff like I realized like wow like I've changed quite a bit in terms of like how strict I was and like strict I was and stuff, and then also like how my like, mentality and stuff has improved. So I definitely am grateful for all of that. And then for I guess the last thing is like for the religion part, because I do know that I talk a little bit about religion and stuff like that. Like right now, I'm more on like I'm more mental work focused. So this journey of identifying religion is kind of on pause right now. Um, but if there's one thing that I will confirm is that I do believe that there is God and there is only one. I just don't like. I just need to understand like okay, both like the ones that are kind of grabbing me right now, like that makes sense. Also, which I guess not necessarily which one is right, but which one is actually going to serve me well. And I know it sounds egoistic, but it's like which path according to my logic and to my values which I should never sacrifice makes sense according to these religions. So that is that. And oh yeah, and one thing, like never give up something, like never give up your values for something. Like that's one thing you shouldn't be giving up, like because you question all your beliefs except the ones that you don't want to, which which are strengthened by your values and beliefs. So so yeah, if you're caught slipping, at least I warned you. Okay, so just for you and for the future battles. So all right, so Carlos from July, I hope to see you in Greece, and if I do, I'll be filming 3 5-minute update. See you.